Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, supporters and friends of Palestine, it's 60 years and 3 days of terror, dispossession, expulsion and refuge for the Palestinians. It's 21,903 days since the day of Nakba, the catastrophe, the Arabic word for catastrophe. But catastrophe or Nakba is not just simply an event, a historical event. It is an ongoing process of dispossession, ongoing process of ethnic cleansing. A lot of people think that it started in 1947 to 1949, where 82% of indigenous Palestinian people were driven out, uprooted from their homelands to be expelled to neighboring countries or to become internally disposed inside Palestine. The facts tell us that between 1949 and middle 50s, a further 15% of the Palestinians were driven out of Palestine. In 1967, 35% of those who were living in the West Bank, Gaza, East Jerusalem were also expelled out of Palestinian territories. So it is an ongoing process. Today, we see this Nakba, this process, ethnic cleansing process, continuing through the racist separation wall, through the expansion of the illegal settlements, through making lives of the Palestinians impossible inside Palestinian territories, through roadblocks, bypass roads, 734 kilometers of bypass roads that only settlers allowed to use. The wall, 754 kilometers, eating up 40%, almost 40% of the West Bank, and follows only 11% of the so-called Green Line, which is the 1967 borders, as they call it. It's the unprecedented, inhuman treatment of the Palestinians. It's the siege of Gaza. It's the continuous process of ethnic cleansing to this date. So the Nakba is still continuing. It didn't finish. We are not here to weep about the Nakba, but to affirm and confirm our position that the direct result of the Nakba, which is the issue of the refugees, 6 million to 7 million refugees outside their original homes and land, are still waiting for the day to go back to their homeland. This particular problem will never be solved without the return of the refugees. We are here to confirm that there is no alternative for the right of return for the Palestinian refugees. Also, as a direct answer to the question of Nakba, there is no peace without justice, and there is no justice without the return of the refugees. So there is no peace in the area without the right of refugees to go back to their original homelands, not in the West Bank, not in Gaza Strip, but in Jaffa, Haifa, in Safed, in Eilat, in Beersheba, in every single town and city and village of the Palestinians where they were driven and uprooted from. Today, the Palestinians are everywhere in the world. They thought that the first generation will die, the second generation will forget. In the Second World War, there was a notion for those who suffered the Holocaust. They said, we will never forget, we'll never forgive. What we are saying today, we will never forget. Forgiveness might come later, but we will never forget our right. We will never give up our right. We will not allow the banner to drop or fall. We are all over the world. They thought once we are dispersed all over the world that we will melt down, we will forget our right. I am here, I am living in this part of the world, but I haven't forgotten my right. We will never ever give our right up or allow it to drop or allow others to force or impose solutions or indirect solutions on us. Today, we are all here to support the Palestinian cause. Thank you very much for all of you who have made the time, the effort and everything to support the Palestinian cause. As my colleagues mentioned earlier, your voice is heard inside Palestine. They really need this sort of support. They look at you as the real solidarity and support for their cause. What made the people there continue their struggle, continue their steadfastness, continue their struggle and resistance is the support of the people all over the world. Not just Arabs or Muslims, but you, even Jews in support of Palestine, and it is an international thing. We are campaigning for justice, we are campaigning for the right of people to be living in this planet as human beings. Thank you very much again for your support. Please don't let the Palestinians down. Thank you.